Hi everyone. My name is Mary. Um, Sorry, just to adjust this to me. Okay, I hope I'm not going too close to the camera. I don't need to be um awkward. So I just want to start by saying I hope you all are safe and healthy. Obviously, particularly now that there's the COVID-19 going around, so just to be all careful. So just wishing you good luck. Um, so my presentation focuses on organizations that support people who are incarcerated and their families. I chose to do this topic specifically because when we think about people who are incarcerated, we often think that they deserve it, like whatever they did, whatever their crime was, their punishment fits it. And also it also causes this sort of dissociation where we kind of almost forget that they're also people, and like they have families, they have loved ones. It kind of creates this like, you should be forgotten, and we kind of like, I'm speaking from my experience, we kind of like paint them as the black sheep, which is obviously, I mean, in some cases, they are in there because, they did do something wrong. But in other cases, it's not always true, right? Our justice system is flawed. And sometimes, people do go to jail who are innocent. So I wanted to shed light on organizations that help, that support the families, particularly because, again, people who are incarcerated are fathers, mothers, brothers and siblings. They do have family, and in some cases they may have very young children, and it's not. We should also that should also be taken into consideration, right? Because we have to, as a community, we have to care for one another. And also another thing that we tend to forget is we live in a world. No one lives in an isolated world. That means that intersection, in the way we move within our society, our community, is a result of the intersectionality that we face. Like, for example, access to, proper health care, a safe neighborhood, food, job and employment opportunities, even simple things like being able to, aspire to get access to further education, further better jobs, etc. Those things do influence people's actions and how they move through society. And again, we can't just remove all those things and just say, oh, that person did something wrong. But there are things that need to be taken into consideration also. So my I searched up organizations that support these families and that help to reduce, they just help to make life, they help to maintain this connection between people who are incarcerated and their family, just to maintain that connection there, so that they can, so they can, so they don't feel like they're left alone in this world, which doesn't exactly help, which doesn't exactly help with events like staying away from jail and staying away from the law and whatnot. So during my research, I came across two organizations that I personally found interesting, and I love the work that they did based on their what I found on their webpage. The first was Canadian Family and Correctional Network. This organization provides visitation programs to people who are incarcerated. So basically, they allow their families to visit them, and they also they also have child care programs, such as they have a Dad Hero program that allows fathers who have younger kids, brothers who are incarcerated who have younger kids, but they still want to maintain that relationship with them. They have, programs that allow for that to happen. They have a children's book program that kind of like educates kids about the process behind incarceration, just so in a way that they can understand it, because previously at that young age they don't really understand much. Just to make the process of incarceration that is so traumatizing for them. So just to make it more, make it more like less traumatizing, obviously, but also more in a way that they can understand what's going on. And they also help with parole, because obviously once these individuals come out from, are done with the sentence, they need to, some of them need to find jobs, because some of them may be breadwinners of the family, right? They need to find jobs, they need to integrate back into the community. So they offer they have a parole book that guides people with doing that. Anyhow, the second organization is Breakaway, not the Kelly Clarkson song, because that's kind of the first thing that may come to, people who are fans of Kelly Clarkson, but no, I love her, but no. So it's Breakaway Toronto. They focus on harm reduction, so providing support to people who struggle with substance abuse, and all people who have loved ones that struggle with substance abuse. And they also provide services. They provide outreach educational services to people within the community, as a way to kind of let's destigmatize the connotations we have pertaining to substance abuse. And as they also offer a program that, or at least they used to, offer a program where they reach out to prison inmates, and then they just help them again with, it still focuses on harm reduction, just help them, with support for that, because obviously, we cannot, it's not right to ignore these people. So yeah, so they do that. So the first organization I interviewed Margaret Holland from Canadian Family and Correction Network. She's the outreach coordinator. And the second was Mariana. She's from Breakaway. And for both organizations, I wasn't able to get an in-person recording with them. So I just, recorded it via audio, and that's what you're going to be listening to. You're going to listen to both of them. The interview was quite long, just giving you a heads up, but so we wanted to be able to hear everything, but just some of it that is really important, like you're going to hear from them what they do. So just I'm going to play the audio right now so you can get a sense of what I'm talking about and the type of work they do just for yourselves. Okay, let's play it. Right, if I'm not wrong, that should be it. Give me 1 second. Okay. Sorry, it's not gonna take a long time. Yeah. So, and also towards the end of this video, I'm going to attach a link that you can go ahead and visit if you just want to learn more about the organization, or if you want to reach out to them yourself to volunteer. So that's Margaret.
They have responsibilities, and there's covers of responsibility. So we have resources on what is it to come into the institution, what are the things I need to know in terms of coming in. We have books of support.
So right now, Margaret is just talking about how they register, how people can access their services. So yeah.
For family members that are coming in, coping over time. We have, so basically I only have the comic book, which is for adolescents, which gives an education around what the various roles are of correctional staff and then how they play inside that. family's life.
I see. Okay.
We also have a toll-free line where families can call without any expense. This is totally for families and members in the community. We do not make it open to family members inside. And the reason for that is there are other organizations that go into the institutions and work with the guys inside. There's limited resources for family members. So this is a toll-free line particularly for families. And through that, we give them support in terms of navigating the visiting area, dealing with various challenges that they come up with in terms of walking into a correctional institution, just a variety of, and sometimes where do I find it, how do I get there?
Yeah.
What's happened, I can't get in touch with my husband, my father, my brother, my good friend, can you help me with that? I haven't heard from him for several months. This kind of thing that we just try to do, navigate some of those challenges for families and help them work through the various issues.
Okay.
We also do research and policy development, so our research is involved working with victims and families, so family members who have a victim in the family, are victimized in the family, and so, that kind of thing. We did a lot of research on that. We did a lot of research on families themselves in terms of what is it to be a family of a member, and that was where our Coping Over Time book came from. And we're involved in policy development, so we sit at the table with various partners, corrections that where we are, engaged in terms of, let's look at this and how it's going, this policy that you're developing and how it's going to impact families, and what can we think of in terms of families.
Go ahead.
Okay. The other thing is we work at NOVA, which is a female institution, and there we have a family liaison worker, which focuses on assisting families in their reintegration and their relationships.
Cool. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Is that? A lot of information.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Okay, so that was Margaret. She was just talking about the summer programs that they have and the ways they support people who have loved ones that are incarcerated and they want to just access some of their services that are there. So the next person that we're going to hear from is Mariana. So she's from Breakaway Toronto, and she's just going to talk about the work her organization does, and the work her organization does and ways we can support. Okay, just give me a second and I'll play the audio for you. Okay.
More detail later when we talk about a program breakdown.
Sorry, I'm gonna start it up from the beginning so you can understand where she's coming from.
More detail later when we talk about a program breakdown. Our primary duty is to offer supportive services to folks who are struggling with substance use and/or abuse concerns, in a range of type of client to what type of service they're looking for.
Okay. And what's your role within the organization, and what does the role entail?
So my role, I'm intake coordinator for two of the programs, the Family and Youth Initiative and the Harm Reduction Outreach Team. And then I offer program support and administrative support across the agency. So it's a bit of a dual role.
Cool. So what are some programs your organization offers, and what do they aim to resolve? Like, what's the goal of all of those programs?
So we have 6 programs. Probably a general goal for all of the programs is to support the clients. We are client-centered and harm reduction based, so that's values that across the whole organization. Basically our goal is to assist the client with whatever needs that they have within our capacity. Each program has slightly different goals as well. So I'll break it down by program. So the Family Initiative is for...
this particular audio you're listening to is from Mariana. She's from Breakaway, and as she had said, they focus on harm reduction, and they have 6 programs. She's just going to explain those. If you're interested in learning more about these programs by yourself, you can go to their website, which again will be attached to the link.
Youth from sometimes as low as 11 or 12 up to the age of 26.
Okay.
And or their families. So sometimes the youth doesn't want to get involved, but the family members are still welcome to get involved even if the youth doesn't want to. And then in other cases, the youth and the family and the parents and the siblings and everyone wants to get involved. So that's pretty unique to us. It's one thing that we can do is offer the support to the families as well. And that looks like one-on-one, or if the family's involved, 1 to 3, 4, 5, whatever, counseling around the substance abuse piece and whatever concurrent disorders come along with that. That's offered in-house. And then as well as part of the Family and Youth Initiative, we offer in-school counseling. Okay. And so that's a partnership with TDSB and TCDSB. So the in-school counseling, again, would mostly be one-to-one. Sometimes the school social worker or counselor might be present or that sort of thing. And then as well, we offer a certain amount of school. We have one current school group running, and so that's basically what we would call group counseling.
Okay.
So that's been running for many years. And then the last thing we offer through the FYI program is group presentations or sort of harm reduction education, drug information, that sort of thing.
Yep.
And that's one worker who goes out into schools, not just schools, but schools, community centers, shelters sometimes, that sort of thing, to do presentations on the work that we do and harm reduction in general, substance abuse, that sort of thing, and those pieces. So that's the FYI program, Family and Youth Initiative. The Satellite Opiate Clinic is exactly what it sounds like. So it offers clients who are using opiates, the opiate antagonist, which would be Suboxone or methadone.
Okay.
And then with clients who are in that program also have the opportunity to use our drop-in space.
Yeah.
And again, it's specific. It's called drop-in, but it's only for clients. So we have drop-in hours throughout the week. And they can use the space. We offer breakfast on Tuesday morning and dinner on Wednesday night for clients. And then as well, they can just come and use the space during regular drop-in hours. We have computers that clients can use. We've got couch space. We have a kitchen with some limited food like toast and cereal and that sort of thing, coffee and tea. So that's available as well. And then there are 2 client support workers and then 2 therapists who work on that team as well as so that they are there to offer support to clients as well as while they're going to see the doctor to get their prescription.
Okay.
And then the last thing is the nurse. So we have a nurse on staff as well. So she's there to help them with any needs they have on a smaller basis. Otherwise, sometimes she might refer out to an actual medical doctor, but that sort of thing. So that's Satellite. And then we have the Pieces to Pathways program is our newest program. So and I think one of your questions might later on ask more specifics, so I guess we'll just cover it now. So the Pieces to Pathways program is our newest. They're still kind of recently, within the last 2 years, officially have received their government funding.
Okay.
So they're the first program of their kind in Canada. They're peer-led, LGBTQ-centered support for folks who have addictions or substance use concerns. So very unique, very exciting, and they offer 3 nights a week drop-in,
Okay.
and that's for clients and non-clients.
Okay.
So the 3 drop-ins are racialized youth, and then abstinence-based, and then harm reduction-based. So, of course, folks might go to all 3 of those if they really wanted to. So, so that's pretty amazing. And those dinners are offered during those drop-ins, as well as some, to an extent, some group counseling, but then folks can also, pair off with with one of the peer workers to do some one-on-one if they want to. And then Pieces Pathways also offers just the with one of the peer workers. They also do quite a bit of outreach in terms of harm reduction supplies. They do kit makings one Friday per month. They invite volunteers from the community to come on site and do kit making together, and then they'll distribute that out into the LGBTQ scene. So that's pretty amazing. And then we have two others. Wait, how many have I said? Yeah, so we have the harm reduction outreach team. Sorry, three others. I'm missing one. So the harm reduction outreach team is it's kind of a more general program. It's for adults. It's we're currently reshaping the mandates of the program, and we're going to be trying to focus mostly on women or trans, identifying, and folks who are a little bit higher risk. Once upon a time, we had more staff in the program, but at this time, we're a little bit short-staffed, and so we're just trying to give services to those who are really, really in need of it. So yeah, usually higher risk, if you're at risk of being homeless, or if you have concerns with trauma or grief and loss, or if you are involved with CIS or CCAS. Those are other criteria. So that's the harm reduction outreach team. And again, so that would be outreach-based counseling support, as well as to an extent some case management services. And then we have the Toronto Opiate Support Team, which is another outreach team. And there are three different workers on that team, and they work with three different criteria of persons. So one works specifically with women and trans. One works specifically with 55 and older folks. And then one works specifically with youth, so up to age 29. And so those three criteria for those would be specific to opiate users, and that's whether or not they are on the opiate antagonist treatment. So that's not the factor of whether they're already accessing that service. That's fine. We can just see them for the outreach support. Again, a bit of case management, and then support and advocacy and that sort of thing. And then the last program is the Addiction Supportive Housing Program, which is in partnership with Regeneration Health Inc. And they are exactly what they sound like. So we have 44 or 45 units in three different locations in Toronto. Most of them are in northern Toronto. And so within those 44 units, if any of those particular clients are looking for some support, someone to talk to, whether it's counseling or case management, or that sort of thing, then we have three housing support staff who are available to work with that around that. And then through the housing program, they also offer a once-a-week breakfast and once-a-week lunch group, which is really nice because it's a great way to bring people all living in the same space together to offer a sense of community. So,
so I'm just gonna build onto what she said about people living in the same space. So like I said earlier, people move within the environment in a very different way. We are basically we move the way our society is structured. Again, it's structured in a way that every fits of individuals don't fit into this idea of what this sounds so-called perfect idea. It has a way of marginalizing the normates, so people who don't fit into what society describes as perfect. Like for example, people of color are part of the normates. People who are under the LGBTQ2S+ umbrella also part of the normates. So again, we move through our experience, our intersectionalities, right? That unfortunately shapes where we see ourselves within those, or how we can move from different socioeconomic, states that obviously definitely influences how our interactions with the law, our interactions with, and obviously with Okay, so I'm just gonna keep playing the video. So you can...
Yeah, so those are all the programs.
Cool.
And
Yeah.
then information can be found on our website as well.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so I'm just gonna skip the harm reduction, the question on harm reduction, just because you already covered it, explaining it. Okay. So the next question is, why is it essential to have open discussions and community supports pertaining to harm reduction?
So one huge reason is that there is such a bias.
Yeah.
There's such a stigma around substance use and abuse, and working to get rid of those stigmas is one of the biggest reasons why we need to be constantly talking about these things, because the injustices that our folks face every day are enough of a burden on them, and not to add the fact that, you know, they get a dirty look from a person just because of the way they are conducting their lives. So working to abolish that stigma and that bias for sure is one big reason, and just giving a better understanding of what harm reduction is. A lot of people don't know what it means. Like the general populace don't understand what harm reduction is, and when they first hear about it, they're like, "Are you kidding?" So understanding that, you know, abstinence is not the only answer. Sometimes it is the answer. Sometimes that's what people choose for themselves, and that's great. And having abstinence certainly fits into the harm reduction model, but it's not the only answer. Some folks need something a little softer, or some folks are going to continue to use substances for the rest of their lives, and that's okay. So understanding that and having that dialogue with the world to be able to help folks to understand that people who use or abuse substances aren't bad people. They haven't made the wrong decisions necessarily. They are where they are in their lives, and they need support and compassion just as much as the next person. So it would definitely be one of the big reasons.
Thank you. So the next question is, your organization provides a prison enrich program to women who are incarcerated. Can you talk more about the details about this program, and does Breakaway provide support for the families of these women?
So yeah, I don't know down to the nitty gritty details exactly what's offered, but I think for the most part, so there was for a long time the mode that we were delivering the InReach, and I should clarify, the InReach into prisons. So there's only one prison that we've been connected with, the New Women's Center, and it's through the Harm Reduction Outreach Team. And that partnership was actually put on hold for a little while because of complications on their end. They've just been, I think there were a couple different reasons, and one of the most recent reason I think was they're doing construction to the prison space. So they don't actually have a space for us to meet folks while we're there.
Okay.
So, but anyway, when we were running it more regular, and we do hopefully get it up and going again, we would offer groups. So I think they offered 2 groups a week.
Okay.
And so if some weren't able to attend one group, then they can attend another. And it would basically look like group counseling, greatly centered around grief and loss a lot of the time, especially because these women have been taken out of their community and their homes because they are incarcerated. And a lot of them would have experienced grief and loss not only in that manner, but also because a lot of them would have involvement with ECAS or CAS, and so needing support around that as well. And then the other mode, which I'm not 100% sure if this actually got up and running before they had to shut things down temporarily, but there was also an offer for one-on-one work.
Okay.
And that was sort of on a voluntary basis. I mean, of course it's voluntary, but we would just sort of, it would be part of the group work, and then we would say, and if anyone would like to connect with one of us on a one-to-one basis, please let us know, and then you can go from there. So I think in the end, maybe only 1 or 2 clients, or 1 or 2 inmates actually ended up getting connected in that way.
Okay.
But the option's there. In terms of working with inmates' families, I'm sure that it has happened. It hasn't necessarily been a built-in part of the programming,
Okay.
but I'm sure that now and then clients will, after they've got out of the system and they're post-incarcerated, a big part of the work that we've done is helping them with that process, because that's an extremely difficult process.
Yeah,
So helping them to get back into the community. Not all of the clients that we've seen in at Vanier have accessed that, but some of them have. And so when they have, sometimes that might have included giving support to the families, probably not too often. One thing that we will do sometimes, if there's particular family members, kids, for example, in the family who are looking for support, we'll refer them to the Family Needs Initiative.
Okay.
Or if there's more family counseling that wants to be done, then again, we would refer to the Family Youth Initiative.
Okay.
But again, that's only once they're out. Obviously, the Family Youth Initiative doesn't do the in-house. Yeah, so that would be, I think there was another question in there somewhere. I guess the importance of doing that work. I mean, I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory, but these folks don't get, support that they should be.
Yeah.
And again, the stigma is there. It's like, well, I'm sure if they're in prison, they deserve to be there, right? That's what people think. So working against that, for sure. That's one reason that we're there, is because no one else is going to be there. So.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so I'm gonna post the audio there. So yeah, so obviously, one thing that really, that's kind of one thing that one thing I was surprised about was that when I was doing my research and searching for organizations, I found that both organizations are non-profits, so basically they're not covered under the government. So that's something that I thought was really weird. I expected, obviously, that, because again, they're trying to help people, help families. They're trying to help people who are incarcerated and just get back on their feet. So it's kind of like, I was kind of like hoping that at least it would be covered under the government, but they're not, right? So again, that has to do with the strong stigma that's there about pretending to, like, oh no, if you're incarcerated, you did something wrong, that again goes back to what I was saying with the word, just, our society is designed to, like, have this world that it makes us think in very, like, it tries to make the world as plain as possible when that is just not the truth, right? It tries to make it as simplistic as possible, but that's not the truth. That people have different dimensions. People's environments influence how they act, like how they think, so, and what resources are available to them for change to come about. So, yeah. So that was obviously one of my main motivations behind just searching these organizations, is just to shed light on them and have the work that they do be open to the public, to more people as possible. Towards the end, I asked both organizations, what is something that we can do as part of the UFC community to help, and both, funding was a big part of it, basically money. So another thing that you can do if you do want to help is volunteer your time. If you can, just, try. Yeah. Okay, so that ends this video recording for my assignment. Again, the link will be posted on the video. Just if you want to just learn more about them, if this interview interests you. I hope it does. But yeah, so thank you again. Please be safe, and be careful. And I wish you all a happy day. Okay, thank you.